Hello everyone, Sheila back again. Welcome to my channel. I'm busy doing the V-neck on this sweater, and I've had to split the front in half to do this. I've casted off the stitches for the armholes, and then I have to decrease up each side of the armholes, but I'm working on one side at a time. And I've split the stitches in half at the moment, and I've put them on I put one side on a short needle. It's the same size needle. I've just knitted it across until I had the right number of stitches. I think there was 56 stitches, I think, that I had to knit across, but I still have to decrease the stitches up on the armhole and that. But I've split this, but it's an odd number, and because it's an odd number, I'm going to have one stitch odd in the middle. So when I come to do this, when I come to knit this side, I put the odd stitch on this side, and I'll put that, it'll be the first stitch on here. This will be the center of where the center of the V-neck is. The first stitch I'm going to just put on a safety pin and leave that for when I come to do the neck, and that'll leave the same number of stitches on either side, and I'll have that one stitch at the center. It'll be that center stitch that comes up the middle of the V, where you do your shaping on either side of the V to make it into the, you know, the V for the it's hard to explain on here, but I've had to work out what I'm doing. The shoulders. The shoulders here, I have 26 stitches because I cast off on 2 rows. I cast off 13 stitches, go across and 13 stitches on the other side, and then back across and 13 stitches from where I casted off up to the neck. So that means I need to be left with 26 stitches for the shoulder, and the rest of the stitches have to be shaped up the front and the shaping on the armhole. Well, the back of the neck on the back has 37 stitches. That's an odd number of stitches. That's where that extra stitch here comes in. That's where that extra stitch comes from. So I've got to decrease 18 stitches up both sides to make the V. And I've worked out that that I need to do to increase. I've got 66 stitches from the armhole up to the shoulder. So I've worked out that I have to decrease 1 stitch on every 4th row up the front, and I'll do that 10 times, and then reduce that to 1 stitch every 3rd row for 8 times, and that makes that's 18 stitches I've decreased up the front, and the same on the other side, and that'll leave me with the 26 stitches for the shoulders to cast off for the shoulders. And it's took a little bit working out, like what I'm saying. I'm working on just one side. That's the side I'm leaving, that with a little, I put a little thing on the end of the needle to stop the stitches coming off. And I have to incorporate each as I'm decreasing those stitches. I have to incorporate them into the pattern, so to keep the pattern right. I have to work out what row I'm on to now. I've got to go 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm doing 3 stitches, 3 purl stitches. And plain knits, 3 knit stitches. And I'm still doing, like, when I get to the armhole shape, and I have to do the armhole shaping on that side as well. It's quite straightforward when I know what I'm doing. It's all in my head. Like, it's probably sounds complicated to anybody watching this, like, But it's something I just know how to work these things out. I did work it out on a bit of paper at first, and I've got my 66 rows, and at the time when I worked it out from casting off the armholes, I had 56 stitches on one side and 57 on the other, and the one I'm putting in for the centre stitch, so that's actually 56 on each side. And I have 37 stitches across for the back of the neck, and I've got 26 stitches for each shoulder. I've got 10 by 4 and then 8 by 3, and that's how I've just wrote the little note down that what I have to do to get it right. And then when I finish this, I'll just have the sleeves to do. And I always seem to get the sleeves knit up a lot quicker because there's a lot less stitches. You start off with a lot less stitches. You got to add more stitches as you go further up the sleeve, but it always seems to get knitted a lot quicker than when you're doing the backs or the fronts of the sweater because of the number of stitches that you have on there. And I'm always happy when I get onto the sleeves because I know I'm moving a lot faster then. But it hasn't. The weather has sort of cooled down a little bit here in the northeast. It's quite sunny now. But the next few days, I think we're going to have a lot of rain, probably from maybe as Wednesday night. So I do have some things. I've given myself a rest from my garden today because I was going to put some potatoes in. I had dug it over yesterday, but I put to plant a couple of rows of potatoes. But I think I did a bit much yesterday because I think I need a rest today. So I'm probably going to do that tomorrow morning. Probably I've just got to rake it level and make a trench, put some compost in the bottom and put the potatoes in. Because once it starts raining, it's going to make it awkward for me to get anything done in the garden, especially soil. And I do need, my lawn needs cutting, both lawns, the front and the back, and my hedges in the hedge in the back's not too bad, but the one in the front does need trimming. It's grown quite a bit, so I need to do that as well. So I need to do it before we get rain because you can't use these electrical equipment in the rain when it's raining or when it's wet. So that's a little bit work I've got to do in my garden, and at least when the weather's a bit wet and miserable, I'll be sitting in the house doing knitting instead. So I know I'll get finished a lot quicker. And I've got tomorrow night, it's Tuesday today, so tomorrow, well, it's tea time. I go out just after 5. We're usually home again about 9 o'clock. It's for my bingo night. And I was quite lucky last week, so I want to be lucky again this week. And we've been hearing on the news about the lockdown in the UK. Boris has added another 4 weeks to our lockdown, where they were going to ease, I think, nearly everything. We were going to come out of nearly everything in the lockdown on supposed to be 21st of June. But he's added another 4 weeks because of the Indian variant that's causing a lot more cases in the UK. And they were frightened that it was going to get worse if they let us out of the lockdown by the 21st. So it's going to be July, another 4 weeks added on to that now. And it's a pity because I thought it was going to be quite nice to come out of this lockdown into a little bit more of a normal life. You know, let more people into the pubs, not have to social distance as much as we were before. But I suppose we'll have to do what we're told, and we'll never get rid of it. I kind of see we're ever getting rid of this virus, not the way that all these variants keep cropping up. It's something I think we're going to have a vaccination every year for it, like the flu. But that's the way things happen, isn't it? We never ever thought we'd end up with something like this going on. Not just this country, it's the whole world, isn't it? So I'm going to be sitting knitting here for the rest of the day, the rest of the night. And hopefully I'll get this finished pretty soon. I can send it off to the lady and get started on the next one I've got to do. The next one's the last one for a while, because we're getting into the summer weather and I don't want to have to be sitting knitting all the time. So I'll be happy when I've finished them and I can get on with some of my own things. So if you like my video and would like to see more, and I will put up another video, like a work in progress, when I get further on with this and let you see how it comes out. So a thumbs up and subscribe, and bye for now.